Hello, Internet fans, and welcome to another episode of the Buddies Forever VCast with your hosts, Rotten Roger DeMarco and
The Evil Dead Inks.
Yes, we are back to the split screen format. We had 3 weeks in a row where we actually got to be in the same fucking room, and it was amazing.
Yes, there's no over talking each other. No worrying about battery life going down.
No bullshit. So, since we've been together in the past 3 episodes, we've talked about Happy Death Day. We've talked about... about what?
Scream Factories.
Scream Factory stuff. Always talking about Scream Factory stuff. We talked about Steve Dash and his surgery.
Successful surgery.
Yes. So Steve Dash is officially the one-legged man. And we also had the terrible idea to eat marshmallow fluff and Cool Whip whilst doing a commentary for the Larry Cohen film, The Stuff.
Which is an idea that struck me while I was just at work one morning.
And so...
why don't we eat that while we watch that movie?
And I tell you, it was a delicious challenge. I have nothing against it until about the 45-minute mark, where you really, really got to start shoveling that shit down. Yeah. That was definitely the worst part.
It has not off-put me, though. I went back and did have a couple of Fluffernutter sandwiches this past week as getting up in the morning, nothing I want to eat at 3 a.m., so throw a Fluffernutter together. I'm good to go.
Yeah, and I left that marshmallow fluff there, so you can definitely have at that.
It's on the table next to Jason's head, so as a good reminder of no matter how rough a day has been, it's like, we did that, and that was rough, but I'd do that again any day.
Yes. Yeah, I can't wait for the next, challenge-oriented, or orientated, however you say it, commentary that we choose to do.
I've got a list. Of movies and terrible ideas to go with it.
Nice.
All those.
Yeah, I was actually talking about one a while back, and I think you had brought it up. Was one of the junk food cinema guys had paired like a Friday film. So like say we did Friday 4, and we drank like purposely like skunked beer. Like we took like a 12-pack of beer and we like sit it out in the sun for like a week.
I want to say it was part 7 they were watching, and they're like, yeah, like if you had just sunk a can of beer at the bottom of a lake for 20 years and then cracked it open and drank it. Or one that's just been like the trunk of your car.
Yeah.
In the summer heat.
So I think that'd be a fun deal, because neither of us really are alcohol enthusiasts by any means. So I think it would be kind of fun, especially since I really want to do a commentary for part 4. I think the party aspect at the end of part 4, where they're shotgunning beers for dances and things of that nature would.
I've never done that. That would be an interesting attempt. We should try that. During that scene we should attempt our best at a shotgun.
Well, our guts could explode like that dude from Slaughter High. So I'm a little concerned. I think that could happen. I don't know.
Anything could happen, but I would be amused to see how we would try it, because I'm just going by what I've seen in movies as to how to do it. So
yeah,
I'm not like just puncturing a hole in the bottom of a can and opening it and then drinking.
Drink it wicked fast.
I guarantee it won't go well.
And that's why it's awesome.
But it'll be fun to look back at it later and be like, no idea what we're doing. Somebody a professional college kids watching that going, pathetic.
Yeah, look at these fucking 34-year-old men can't drink a beer.
Hey, I'm 35. God's sake. How old are you? 22, 23?
17.
Things I want to do in my life, too.
Win.
When
Oh shit. So by the time this drops, I will have dropped the Godzilla trailer, which I dropped today, and then
that looked fun. I think
looks,
I've not shown my youngest yet, but she's a Dragon and Godzilla fan, so I imagine because we have a really nice theater where I'm at, so I imagine they'll have a big like 4D 4X experience of that movie. So I'll drop the penny and be like, take the youngest, like, let's see this in 4D with all the sights, sounds, smells, rumble.
That's how it needs to be seen. That's because it's
perfect, made for that environment. A 4D custom.
Right. And then I will be dropping my trailer reaction for The Final Wish, which you told me about this movie. I had no clue about this movie.
Yeah, stumbled across it.
Seems okay.
Some surprise people in the cast. I was like, oh, that's. But then I saw who is behind it, and I'm like, okay, that easy tie. Why would get that person?
Yeah. I think it looks interesting, but I also think it might be just a little bit too much of the same stuff. I think we're kind of falling into that trend again, you know?
Oh, I'm weird with trailers. I'll say this much about it. I finished 2.5 minutes, and I have not a solid idea of the concept of the movie.
I feel like it's it's like a monkey's paw deal. Obviously, there's that artifact, whatever it is, that music box or whatever it is, and you're allowed to. It grants you wishes, but they have a terrible twist attached to them, and it seems very like Monkey's Paw meets Insidious.
I would go with. I got a very Pet Cemetery vibe off of it, which I mean, the Monkey's Paw goes in that. Yeah. Like that. Yeah, I was like, I wish my son was here again. I wish my son was dead again. You know, I definitely got a. It's like, geez, Pet Cemetery, the remake ain't even out yet, and I feel like they're already starting to pull from that a little bit.
Oh yeah. We're gonna start seeing that that resurgence of just nothing is new anymore. It's really hard for them to come up with something new. They gotta pull from existing elements, which is some of the stuff that I wanted to talk about in this episode because. We were talking the other day, and I'm going, what fucking year is it? I'm like genuinely like I'm excited, but I'm like, what if you would have told me a year ago that we'd be like, there's a brand new Tremors, which I mean they've been doing systematically, but we got a brand new Tremors. We've got a Leprechaun sequel that follows the original film. We've got a Killer Klowns from Outer Space film in development. We have a Critters film that starts filming next month.
What's the story with that one? Is that going to be a continuation?
From everything that I've read, it is a reboot. And everything that I have found, I can't see that the Chiodo brothers are attached in any way, shape, or form.
I'm fine with that. I've known they've been trying to get that off the ground since that Infinifilm Elm Street re-released it years ago. Where they're like, we do want to resurrect that franchise.
Yeah. Apparently, there was going to be like a mobile device film or a mobile device series that was in development, like a Critters mobile device only. These short. I don't know whether they were like 7 minutes, 10 minutes, whatever. It was in development, and then that got pulled, and now they're going forward with this feature-length Sci-Fi Channel movie. I don't know.
Well, Zombieland kind of came out with that way back when. Initially, they were going to be trying to do a television series.
It lasted one episode or something, right?
No, it's just they were going for that. That's why the zombie kill of the week thing. They were going to do that weekly kind of thing, and then they're just something happened where they ended up being, well, we'll just do a movie, and that sequel's coming out at some point, because I keep hearing that is going from like it's going to be done to it is done. Now it's going to be released at a certain time. I've heard stuff for years about a Zombieland 2 where the cast and everything has been brought back.
I gotta say, I am in the minority with that movie. I mean, it's funny, but I just don't care. Like, I mean, I've seen it twice, 3 times, whatever.
Really?
It's fun, you know, and it's quotable, but it's not like, you know what they need? More Zombieland movies. I'm getting fucking tired of zombies in general, man.
I'm with you on the zombies. I will not say no to more Woody Harrelson as Tallahassee.
Right. He's the saving grace.
Yeah, that's the like this. He's in it. And I was like, say that character. I'm like, I'm in.
Yeah,
I'm in.
And then another thing that I know that you do not care about in the least is that the Toxic Avenger is getting a remake. Getting a solid budget remake. I know you're not a Troma guy. That's one of the handful of things, because I mean there's a very small amount of things we disagree on.
Yeah, it's weird. It's like the two ends of the spectrum. There's Troma, don't like it, and then there's Italian horror, and I never could get into it either.
Oh man, see,
ground.
Yeah, and I got to get you into some of those Universal things as well, like the classics.
I need to. I just
yeah.
I don't old man mentality, because I don't want to be what I'm telling other people not to be. Like, no, go back to the 80s. Because I'm sure there has to be. They have to look at the 80s the way some of us look at the 50s and the 60s.
Yeah, I'm not a great big like Hammer guy. I'm slowly getting into like the Hammer films, which were like, you know, the late 60s, 70s when they took those the properties like the Universal guys, but then they fucking ramped them up and they had like Technicolor blood and like tits everywhere and like really just that like dark gothic just made those Universal guys like nasty. And like I'm okay with that, but there's something about like taking those Universal monsters and like giving it this like 70s color palette, but still like trying to pass it off like it's way back, you know, in like the fucking 15th century or whatever. I don't know what it is about it. Like I see like Christopher Lee with like sideburns and I'm like, this is 1972, quit bullshitting. I don't know.
Yeah. I keep saying one day I will get there. I don't know when I'll get there, but I like to say that one day I'll get there and I'll check those out. But I mean, gosh, when is there not a list this long of things that like, oh, well, you got to see that, you got to see that, you got to see that.
Exactly.
The other day I was like, I love this series. I need to get Roger to start watching this series. And I was like, I'm gonna watch a series, but I was like, watch this series. I was like, you will love this series. I was like,
That's another thing I was gonna say. If you're trying to get into those old Universal and stuff like that, a good starter would be like the Hammer House of Horrors. You know, those are essentially like episodes of Tales from the Crypt. They're about 45 minutes, 50 minutes a pop. And so, like, you don't get too bogged down. You know, it's not going to be like a ridiculously slow story. And they all have those, like, Vault of Horror, like, twist endings. You know, like the aha, gotcha, awesome endings. So those are, like, condensed Hammer horror films that are good to get into. Because then you can be like, this one sucks, fuck that one, and never go back to that one, you know, like, episode-wise.
Yeah. Oh, gosh. Now we're still reeling from today's news, which I got to break, is our local Crypticon this July. I've been doing weekly announcements, and this week we got one of our wishes. a returning guest of Kane Hodder.
Yeah, I have not broke the news throughout the household. I'm
Really?
holding.
Yet?
No, only Megan. Because we want to wait
Because you got headphones in.
Right. So we're trying to keep that quiet in case a sub happens, or because that would be heartbreaking. So I'm trying to.
Yeah, I can follow you there. That dude's going to get a ton of my money again. I mean, he got a good look of it the first time we got to see him, but we're going to get so much more now.
Oh yeah, it's over. I'm just gonna hand him the deed to the house. Is how it's going down. Yeah, I think I got the hat, the book, 2 8x10s, and 1 DVD signed the last time, and so now it's gonna be like.
Yeah, what are you taking now? Because I'm gonna take his doc.
Yeah,
I'm gonna take back to get signed. That's gonna be my bread and butter shot. There is gonna be here. Sign this one because this is the shit. Guaranteed. Cry.
I might take the book back and have him sign the last page of the book because he signed the opening jacket, and maybe have him sign the back page too, so I can be like, man, I went through this book. I read this book, and so it's cool to see a signature at the front and then a signature at the back, like you've been with me the whole time. I don't know, something like that, something weird.
I bet
like that.
Dig that. I bet he would probably think that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And
a bed page.
We get to bring the cricket box from the basement.
Yes, we do.
And
I'm getting tarantulas. I'm getting tarantulas for Kane.
Oh my god.
We have to.
I don't know if I can eat a tarantula, man.
I don't think I can either, but for that we can. I'm Why not?
I mean, if you're willing to give it a shot, well, I can't say no.
Exactly. I'm down with it, man.
Yeah.
I mean, how big can they be? We thought the scorpions were going to be massive, and they were little. So.
That's exactly the thing I'll be saying back to you in July when we open these cans up, and they're like, oh, how big can they be?
They're like this fucking big. We're like, shit.
Yes. I've seen Kingdom of the Spiders. I know how big them suckers are. Juicy, probably too.
They can kill cows.
Longest scream I feel in cinema history is that fucking scream in Kingdom of the Spiders. That dude
in the plane.
Yeah. So many cutscenes. They're just doing that again and again and again.
They were like, man, we're like 3 minutes short of the runtime we need. I got this.
I feel like they filmed a bunch of stunts and they had to put them in the movie.
Yeah. Oh, man. So, when I was talking about the critters.
Critters.
I didn't write the guy's name down, but it's the guy who did make the Leprechaun Returns movie, is helming this Critters remake or sequel or whatever. So
those both are still under New Line Cinema brand.
I don't know if it's New Line. It might be Lionsgate. Lionsgate, I feel like, took over when they did the Leprechaun Origins movie with that Brendan Fletcher guy, yeah. And WWE Films or something.
I have no idea where they were, but I knew Critters was was a New Line Cinema property.
Right.
Start with.
But yeah, it's been fucking sitting for who knows how long. I have to look at the Scream Factory box set and see who owns the rights now. I don't know, because I didn't get that set yet.
Because it's not too cheap. It's a good like $70 for the 4-pack of them.
Yeah, and I already own the 4-pack, and they're not like in regular rotation. So
1 and 2. I don't know about 3 and 4. I still haven't gotten a 3 and 4 in my set.
Yeah, 3's my always go to. I always go to 3.
Do you think the new one will have the power of the night?
It better. I don't I don't see how you can make a Critters movie
Without
and try to capture that nostalgia and leave that out. Like, that seems to be like that's the one thing. Like, if I say, what do you remember about Critters? You remember Billy Greenbush, you remember Billy Zane, and you remember Power of the Night. Like, that's what you remember.
I remember the bowling shirt. The tree. My favorite scene that is always what I remember third is when they're like, they have weapons and they're like, so what? And boom, fuck.
I thought you were gonna say the shot me with a slingshot. I did not, because that's in Elm Street 3.
Yeah.
Right?
First time I saw Nightmare, I was like, they're watching Critters.
Yeah, and then in Ninja Turtles, they're like, where do they come up with this stuff?
So Critters is apparently the punching bag for New Line Cinema films.
Yeah, no shit. Like Friday the 13th is for Paramount, or was for Paramount.
Did they do any movies where that's in the background somewhere? They've done Friday the 13th movies in the background? I don't recall seeing. I can think of that's happened.
Oh, I guess you're right. Well, yeah, no, because that was New Line. After New Line took over, they did it in National Lampoon Senior Trip. They're watching Jason Goes to Hell.
Yeah, well, that's also a New Line Cinema one.
Right, that's a New Line deal.
I hate that fucking
the noise
when they cut to the scene on it, like weird overdubbing they do. It's like, what the hell's wrong here?
Yeah, just use the real music. You own it.
Yeah. I wonder who that guy was. Like, put a growl in there.
It was probably Kane. He was like, "Fuck it, I'll take $75 to go." Roar.
You think it was him?
No, I don't think. I'm just being a smart ass.
Hey, like, we need you to come in for a National Lampoon Senior Trip. Well, what's my role? You're gonna dub your scene in Jason Goes to Hell. You mean that as like this? Growl.
Just growl.
Be that dick. You take Senior Trip and be like, I want you to sign this, Kane. You're technically in it.
Well, and mine's a 2-pack. Otherwise, I totally would. I don't own a standalone Senior Trip.
I do.
Oh, man, I'm jealous.
I do. Dare me to bring it to him.
I do dare you.
Fine, then you gotta take Freddy versus Jason.
We are taking Freddy versus Jason, so we can break it and we can get a picture with that. I'm going to have him sign the best of the best also, because he has like 38 seconds in that movie.
What's his scene in the movie?
He picks a fight with Eric Roberts at the bar. He's like the tough guy playing pool or whatever. He's got his fucking
Is he a
curly... Yeah, he's got his curly mullet. No facial hair.
No, it's another movie he plays a biker like in. He's in a bar. I want to say it like The Accused. Or something like Jodie Foster. Like he has a bit role in a bar scene.
He's in Monster with Charlize Theron.
That's probably it. That's probably it. That's probably what I'm thinking of.
Yeah, it's going to be tough. I'm just going to take everything I have that Kane is in and
sign it off.
Weed it out. Maybe we take him muck and be like, what were you thinking?
He'll probably be like, ching, 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 ching.
Yeah. He'd be like, well, Adam was taking time making the next hatchet, so...
Burn.
Oh, shit.
I could take Alex to sign that.
Yeah, that's true.
Hopefully he cuts us a nice deal for all this shit. I just hope he comes by and checks out our table.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
We're just going to have a wheelbarrow full of all of our stuff. Just wheel it up to his table. That's going to be the way to go.
Cut me a deal, Kane. Come on.
Cut me all the deals. So I know that you are like super far behind in the Tremors series.
Yeah, I stopped
after which one? 2?
2. I've seen 3. I rented 3 in 1997.
3 is rough.
Yeah, I rented it on a vacation at my grandparents' house. I rented that and Biodome.
and you watched Biodome a couple times and left that Tremors sitting.
Yeah, I watched that Tremors once, and I was like, all right, I like Biodome more.
I'm dubbing this. They kind of pick up a little bit. 4 goes back in time.
I know they go back in time. I never watched it, though.
It's like Old West. It's okay. I'm trying to think of the plot of 5. If my son was here, my son would just be like, you're an idiot. This is what happens.
5 is Jamie Kennedy comes in, doesn't he?
Yep. And then same with 6. He's back in 6.
6 is when they're in the ice.
Yeah, which they filmed in the desert, and they try to put a blue filter on and call it wintertime.
Yeah, you're not selling me on continuing the series after 2.
Well,
maybe 7, Fred Ward will come back.
I don't think that he's attached. You remember Sci-Fi dropped the ball on this too. They had Kevin Bacon attached and Fred Ward attached, and we're going to do that TV series. Because remember, way back in the day, Sci-Fi did have a Tremors TV series that lasted a season or something.
Yeah, I do.
And it didn't do well.
Yeah, I mean, who's gonna watch that besides someone like us?
Right. But so this one they were like, it's gonna work. Kevin Bacon's attached, Fred Ward is attached, and then they pulled the plug on it, and then they made Tremors 6, and now we're making Tremors 7. Like,
because Michael Gross showed up for every Tremors film to the day he dies.
And that's, it's fine because he's willing to keep the franchise alive. You have to have one reoccurring character, otherwise then it just, don't get me wrong, these already kind of feel like cheap rethreads that have lost so much of what made the original, even the first 2, work. But
the third one came in and they brought in like that, what was his name, Pedro?
Yeah,
something
like that.
Third string guy in the first movie is like the second dude there, and I'm like, oh man, they're pulling,
reaching, yeah. And
the guy who started the lawnmower,
yeah,
done movie, okay.
And it's cool to see the franchise keep going, but man, I would have much rather had that TV series with Kevin Bacon. It'd be really interesting. It'd be really interesting to see where they could take it on a weekly basis or a monthly or however often the episodes would be.
I don't know.
I don't know, man. I think...
Because Child's Play is getting that, though, isn't it? Child's Play got a green light for a series.
Yeah, and that one, Don Mancini is actually attached to. Don Mancini and Brad Dourif are a part of the TV series, but this reboot that's coming out with the Buddy doll has nothing to do with Don Mancini and has nothing to do with Brad Dourif. So this is like a complete reboot without them, but Don Mancini is also continuing his Child's Play franchise simultaneously. So it's sort of muddy. It's confusing, Yeah,
one of those two is not going to do well. One may do well, but I can't see both of them being good.
I see the reboot being successful opening weekend, and then just sort of, but I see that TV series, man. Because once people tune into that TV series and they hear the real Chucky, they hear Brad Dourif.
Who would you get to voice the new one, though? If you're stuck with that job, who do you stick with that gig? You have anybody that comes to mind?
I don't know that anyone can fill those shoes.
So do you go completely outside the box?
What do you do? What do you do for someone like that? Like a Willem Dafoe, or like a, like a really interesting, a character actor who can do multiple. I'm gonna make you laugh. Clint Howard.
I was gonna say Bobcat Goldthwait.
Yeah, but he doesn't do that voice anymore. But I mean, he could do something.
You heard his regular voice?
Yeah.
I look at him talking, I'm like, Why are you trying to sound different?
Yeah, you got a cowboy hat.
To me, it's not his real voice. I hear it and I'm like, you come on.
You're pretending to be normal.
That nasally shit that you don't.
Yeah, I don't know. You'd think Bobcat could do a good Chucky?
I think he would have an interesting voice setup. If he just did his regular voice, it'd be kind of weird enough.
What if they went the opposite direction and they got Ted Levine to do the voice of Chucky?
I don't think anyone someone to take it seriously, but I don't think that anyone could take it any less seriously than with.
I'm Chucky. I'm your friendly and Raggy Ho.
I mean, shit, you might as well see what Bill Duke's doing at that point.
No shit.
Get like Jesse Ventura up there and
Yeah.
get a real Minnesota accent.
Oh fuck. Hey, I'm your friend to the end, eh? How you doing there, eh?
Oh, you're Canadian. No, you gotta channel your Jesse Ventura from WrestleMania.
Oh shit.
Go get you another hot dog, gorilla.
Nice. Yeah, so I that's gonna be interesting to watch them both duel it out. You know, it seems
Can't hold
like
up.
they're shooting themselves in the foot. But I listened to the Mick Garris podcast with Don Mancini on it, and he is not happy that they're doing that to him. They're essentially it's his creation, but it's their movie company. So they're like, hey man, we're gonna go ahead and do this. It'd be cool if we could put your name on it, but if not, we don't give a fuck. Because you made it for us, so it's ours technically. And he's like, but I just did 2 movies. I made 2 movies. And you
Like they're giving him the Jeff Bird treatment from Leatherface.
Yes.
I want my name out the fucking picture. It can't do well because coming up against Toy Story 4.
That is a hilarious
It's
opening
funny.
date.
It's funny as shit, but mathematically,
Yeah, suicide.
Mm-hmm. It's not going to do well.
It's just, and the design is a little strange, and then now there's all kinds of stuff going on about the ending already being leaked because of some, which I tried to avoid all spoiler stuff, but there is a photo of the mother character's stunt double that she posted online, and she posted something with it, and supposedly it got fucking removed lickety-split because it spoiled the end of the film. So I'm assuming, the mother died. Obviously, something of that nature. If there's a stunt double for the mother, maybe the mother gets knocked out the window. Something weird. So
I'm going to predict it's going to end up the same boat as the Elm Street reboot went. Like, it's going to appeal to a very small group. There'll be some people who will be all right with it, but I think the majority is going to be like, no, it's not going to do well after that opening weekend bit, and that's not even going to be probably to projected amounts. And I definitely think it will absolutely stop any production for future sequel movies.
Yeah,
I don't know how that'll affect it. Maybe, hopefully not any at all. But
yeah,
I don't feel any more movies are going to come out for a good long while after this attempt comes out, and I think it's going to Nightmare Elm Street reboot plummet.
Yeah, well, I mean, listen, the last 2 entries in the franchise, I liked Curse, the one with the girl in the wheelchair.
I didn't get to finish Curse. I kind of was half in, half out when we had that one on. I never watched Seed.
Seed is trash. And Cult was the newest one.
Yeah.
Cult I wanted to love, man, but I just could not get into it. It was just, it's too much stuff. I don't like when things mess with the mythos and try to reinvent the wheel. Like, that Curse of Chucky, it had just enough. Like, they went back to that original movie where, like, you're not going to see him move. You're not going to see him do anything for that, like, first hour. That's all you. Like, you're looking at him going, he's going to scare me. He's going to scare me. And then when he finally does, you go, all right, I'm in. You know? And the cult was just so much Chucky, Chucky, Chucky. You know, it got Bride of Chucky-ish. Like, you make him...
That's a terrible movie, but I have a weird, like, I'll watch that one. I won't be shutting it off if I come across it. I'll kind of be like...
Yeah, it's
what?
Like the MTV, it's, you know...
It's ultra goofy, especially with John Ritter getting those nails all through his face.
Yeah, but I mean, look at the time frame when that came out. 1998, right? 1988, 1998, 1999.
Had to be around 99 to 2000, because it's the last thing that that director did for getting the Freddy vs. Jason gig.
Fucking Ronnie Yu.
Yeah.
Because they were using Chucky and promoting wrestling. They were doing all kinds of weird things.
Well, yeah, but WCW had a lot of bad fucking ideas back then.
They did.
No.
Yeah, but I mean, it's just...
They have bad ideas now.
Yeah.
It's like...
But like, the tone of Bride of Chucky, it takes such a drastic turn. And that's what happens when you let someone who's never seen a Child's Play film be in charge of a Child's Play film. And it's just sort of, the same thing with Freddy vs. Jason, which you and I both have a deep, like, admiration and a love and a respect for that movie. But when you step back, that is not a good movie. Like,
it's an Elm Street movie that's featuring Jason.
Yeah, which is fine, but even by definition, it's not necessarily a good Elm Street movie. Like, it's very much like you told a child about the two villains, but it didn't let them see any of the stuff, and we're like, okay, so if they were going to fight, how would they fight? And you let a little kid write a story. That's how it feels to me, and the dialogue really represents that. And
did you ever read any of the scripts that were on the internet, like 17 plus scripts that were out there?
I spent an entire summer reading those spec scripts, dude.
I remember the Fred Heads one, where they were
the cult or something.
Well, the cult of serial killer worshippers and I remember reading one that it brought everyone back, and it started with Alice from Part 4. Yeah, I mean, shit, it wasn't easy. Still, I mean, even if it is like a kiddie concept, I mean, explaining how it happened, I mean, it's technically still not. I don't think it's too bad as a way to bring those two together. It's not a fucking easy job to get and make it seem legit.
Yeah, no, and that's the thing though, because it meets our criteria, because it is a popcorn fun movie, and it's not one where you inject a lot of reasoning and reality to. You just go along for the ride, and that's what made that movie so good, was seeing it in theaters and seeing it with a packed house. And it's that experience that you take home with you, even though it's been over a decade. You throw that movie on and you're immediately taken back to that theater and taken back to that feeling,
back to 2003.
And watching them.
I got to see it 3 times, 2 in the theater and once at the drive-in. At the drive-in, it was double featured with Jeepers Creepers 2.
Ah, yes. The rivalry between Jeepers Creepers 2 and Freddy vs. Jason. I remember a bumper on Stars, which still, it cracks me up. I've got to find my VHS tape. Because they were promoting Jeepers Creepers 2, and it had one of the lead girls, I think maybe the psychic girl, the blonde girl. And she is like pitching the movie to the people interviewing her, and she says something like, why would you go because when did it open? August 13th. It opened in August, right?
Freddy vs. Jason?
Yes.
Yes, like August 13th or 17th, 2003.
Yeah. And she says something like, why would you go see these two guys? You've seen, they've done 20 movies together, or 20 movies all together. You have seen what they have to offer. Come see the Creeper, and I thought, like, that's your pitch. Like, you really think you're going to win. This movie has been in development since, not even development, but like hinted at since 1993. But it'd been in development long before, they had talked about it forever. And you think the Creeper is going to outsell the two powerhouses? Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah. And it's, for us, we rewatch it now and think, man, if they just gotten Betsy Palmer in that spot where she should have been, if they just would have gotten Kane to be, if they just, I think they would have tweaked the makeup on Freddy a bit more part 4-ish.
Yeah, because it's not as bad as part 5's makeup.
No, he's not. But he's not haggard, but he doesn't. I don't know. It's probably the nose.
Yeah, with the lines.
Yeah, I would say my ideal is Freddy 3 or 4 versus Friday 7.
Right, that would be that's the pitch.
Yeah, that's the two I want to see go at it. I don't want to see Sackhead against Part 5 Freddy.
Yeah, and they totally, just that Jason look with the tufts of hair. His skin is like solid black. He's got a green burlap, which, don't get me started on fucking Jacket Jason.
You don't like the jacket.
There are legions of me, okay? People who fucking hate Jacket Jason. And I know you're out there, and I know you're with me. Jacket Jason drives me fucking insane. He's a corpse. He's not cold.
But for cosplay, for heftier guys, layers are what's key. And nothing is more appealing to a slightly heftier dude, possibly like myself, that wants to dress up as Jason than a couple extra layers in raggedy, ratted ass jacket. Like, sweet, I can be Jason.
Yes, but Ken Kerzinger does not need extra layers to look big. Although they did give him 4-inch fucking heels, which they could have gave Kane. But I digress.
Kane doesn't need more height to be frightening. Kane does all that with his body language.
Yes. But you're telling me a guy your size couldn't dress like Manhattan Jason and be equally as fucking terrifying. Thick, gooey, just carrying a fire axe. You don't need a fucking coat. Nobody needs a fucking coat.
I've seen a dude, a real, like, pretty big guy that dressed up as a party Jason, and I mean, it looked good, but also it looked like oh gosh, it's like the Monty Python shit. Like Jason's gonna explode from the waist. Not knocking it.
You're not that big.
Yeah, I'm just saying. I'm like I get the not fan of the jacket Jason. I would like to see a more variety kind of spread, because it does seem like Jacket Jason does seem to be the standard bearer.
Yeah, it's on like cups. It's on, fucking t-shirts and shit all the time.
Yeah, that seems to be the one that's the most marketable looking, apparently, is that one. I don't know if it's because it's the last one they made, or it's the most commercially available one that's not tied up in Paramount rights or whatever.
Right. Another thing that frustrates me, I don't think Paramount cares a great deal for the Friday franchise. Obviously, there's all kinds of stuff where they don't. But as people like us who really, really care about cover art, and, we can look at a screen grab from any of those movies and tell you where it's from, the fucking, almost down to the minute in which it occurs. And Paramount goes and gives us these special editions with those lenticular cases, the DVDs, and they put the bullshit cover art on there, like the part 7 has the part 5 fucking chevrons, and you know, and you just look at it and you just scream, no, wrong, like there's just no, like, who's making the cover art? And that's why, like, Paramount can suck my dick, but like guys like Shout Factory and Scream Factory, like the amount of effort and work that goes into those the art.
Well, those I feel those are done by people who like the stuff, putting stuff out for it, as opposed to, I got hired. What's this franchise? Okay, I'll just take some elements and here you go. Probably cheaper that way. Like the Joker says, if you're good at something, never do it for free. And people who are probably the most hardcore about it are like, yeah, I'll do it, but you're going to pay me for doing it.
Right. And that's like that horrormerch.com, and they were vendors at Crypticon last year. They had a table selling shirts and shit. There's a shirt that they sell on their site, which is, it's not just them. Like it's like a mass marketed shirt. So I'm not picking on them, but it is Roy from part 5. Like after he starts sitting up after getting hit by the tractor.
Yeah.
So he's got the cut across his chest. He's sitting up. He's got that curved machete. He's like in that lean position. You know, that position that there's that. It's the screenshot. Everyone knows the screenshot. And it's got like red blood splatters behind it on this shirt. And it just says Friday the 13th. It doesn't say Friday the 13th part 5. It just has the Friday the 13th logo. And every time I see that shirt, I'm like, man, if that just said part 5, I'd buy that shirt. But like, they're misrepresenting which film. I don't know. It's just little shit like that, and that makes me sound like an elitist, and I don't I don't necessarily want to. But yeah.
You want things to be with how they are supposed to be.
Yeah.
Not diluted and under, something else.
Yeah, it's like you wouldn't. You're the Elm Street guy. Like every figure that's behind you, those are $30 a pop, if not more. You wouldn't pick up the part 3 figure, and if it had the part 5 face and it's plastered all over it that it's part 3, you wouldn't be like, man, that looks really good, I'm gonna buy that. Like, you just wouldn't. I don't think you would.
I would probably like, face is wrong. How much you want for it?
Like,
I can't help it. When I was a kid, Elm Street was the biggest thing going, and I saw this neat merch at Spencer's gift shop. I wanted to own everything, and we couldn't. I couldn't own anything just because we didn't have the money to be able to do that. So here I am at 35. I have money now.
I have money.
I'm trying to make up for what I couldn't get when I was 30. When I was 8, 9. At 35, it's like, I'll buy everything I possibly can, that I can get away with.
Yeah.
I'm not going to be yelled at home. I'm going to pick that sucker up if it's an Elm Street piece of merchandise, because it's just my thing. I have one bit left to get, and it's a screen used prop.
You'll get it.
That's my key thing to get.
Don't worry. You'll get it.
I'm not worried. I'm a little bit worried about what it'll cost me. But something from that franchise, preferably from one of the first 4 movies. Maybe I'll even go up to 5. I'll say the 5th one too. Anything screen used up to 5. 5 was the first one I saw in the theater. Don't knock it.
Nah, I won't knock it. It's just part 5.
I enjoyed part 5. Part 5 was an alright one for me. It was the first one I got to see in the theater. 4 was the first one I got to see, period.
That's a good entry. That's a good entry to the franchise. That's a really fun movie.
It is. It's the MTV nightmare.
Yeah. And the best look, other than 3, like you said, like the look of Robert Englund in that movie. Like he's got the little like notch out of his ear, and like the shit is fucking kind of dangly, and a couple. It looks awesome.
Yep.
There's I showed you. I showed you the silicone masks by Dark Ride Studios.
Those are
they make a part 4, but it's $660, but it looks just like Robert Englund.
And I would love to have a dummy that has that face on it in the basement.
Yep.
That'd be
man.
Tax return time. We'll pick up a couple of those.
Yeah, and then we'll start a rap group.
Are you ready for Freddy?
Oh yeah. I just won't say bitch a bunch, because that seems to be like the trend when people like mock Freddy.
Morty shit right there. That's where that came from.
Yeah, and then part 3, it started to be like a catchphrase almost. He started to say bitch, like he says bitch a lot in part 3, and then it just became yeah.
Jennifer.
Welcome to primetime, bitch. Come and get him, bitch.
Yeah, technically. He doesn't say that, though. He writes.
He doesn't say. Yeah, but, it starts to be like a punctuation for Krueger. And then, obviously, in part 4, he's been guarding his gate for a long time, bitch. Kung fu this, bitch.
I feel in part 5 is where it's a punchline.
Yeah, we'll see, bitch. We'll just see.
Like, bon appetit, bitch.
Bitch. Yeah,
there's the punchline.
Mm-hmm. And then, even you go to Wes Craven's New Nightmare, pick a pet for the Rugrat, bitch. Like, it's still...
I feel like
no, it's not.
Came out. Damn, what did he do in Freddy's Dead? Where was his bitch line there?
He says, Kung fu this, bitch. Kung fu this, bitch. Might be your dream.
I feel definitely in Freddy vs. Jason, that's where he did it definitely more than once. I feel like he hit 2 or 3 bitches in there. And I think that's where the thing has come from. But yeah, before that, I think he just did it once in a movie. And
yeah, I'm still laughing about he hit 2 or 3 bitches in there. I don't know. Freddy hit 2 or 3 bitches.
He straight up hit 2 or 3 bitches in that one. But he does bitch as fucking the Jason Mewes.
Yeah.
Fuck's his name? Gosh.
Oh, Freeberg.
Freeberg, yeah. I was like, it's fucking. It is 2003, so they're literally like, give me Jason Mewes, but not Jason Mewes.
Yeah, let's knock him off.
And then it died, little bitch, and.
Yeah.
One more in there. Yeah, there's at least 3. There's 3 bitches in that fucking movie. But gosh, does he have one? He doesn't have one in the. Does he have any in the first 2? I don't think he does. He definitely does in the first one. He can't have any in the first. Nah, he ain't got nothing in the first one. Right, no bitches in the first one. I feel the first bitch was part 3.
It definitely becomes like pronounced, but that he's starting to talk more. He's starting to be more put out in the forefront by 3, and especially 4. Like you said, that's the MTV. That's the he's no longer the boogeyman. He's the spokesman.
Now it's Robert Englund starring in A Nightmare on Elm Street.
Right. He is the kid's pajamas. He is the fucking squirt balls. He's water balloons.
MTV television music video show.
Yeah. And so obviously he becomes, I don't want to say a parody of himself, because that seems like rude to say that he's a parody of himself.
He's the Johnny Carson of the series.
Yeah, and he has to be the spokesman, because you're no longer like watching it for a survivor. You're no longer rooting for Alice to make it out. You're rooting for Freddy to kill Alice. I mean, it's a fine line. It's a fine line.
Yeah. And then after that, you get the television series, which I hooked you up with some of the episodes of that. How are those going? Have you watched any more Freddy's Nightmares?
I've done a handful, and they're exactly like I
do them. How does it feel going back to that series? Is it pretty bug nuts?
It's very strange.
Fuck yeah, it is.
There's things about it that I really like, and then there's obviously there's gonna be some crappy episodes here and there, but as a whole, like, I want a real set of it. I don't like watch them and go, I'll never watch this again. I watch it and go, that was fun, or that was weird. Like, I need to tell someone about it. Like, it's just like I remember when I was a kid, just watching it, like, what is happening? Like.
Are you going in order? Or are you trying to like jump around a little bit?
I'm jumping. I'm just bouncing. I'm looking at titles and seeing what titles stick out, and then I go, I think I remember this one. So.
Have you seen the Cuts to the Same House?
I haven't noticed that.
I've watched Same House every episode.
I've watched like 3 or 4.
There's always like a outside shot where they shoot like exteriors, and it's the same house every time.
That's crazy. I haven't picked up on that yet.
Nobody moves apparently in Springwood. They all just live in one community house.
What the hell? Oh, there was mainly it was just those things, like the Leprechaun film, which I did the trailer reaction for, and I'm okay with it. I'm ready to watch it.
I'm not sure yet. It's like the Tremors series for me. I never finished all the movies. I have them all.
Yeah, you don't really need. I mean,
after I don't think I've seen anything. Again, after 2, which is weird.
3's okay.
How many are there of those? Is it 7? 6, 7 of them?
3, 4 is space. 5 is in the hood. 6 is back in the hood, and then 7 is the Leprechaun Origins or whatever. So yeah, there's 7.
The WWE films.
Yeah, and I've only watched it once. I watched it when I bought that Blu-ray set, and I remember it being decent. I remember you don't really see the Leprechaun. It's really like he's not like saying quips. He's really like a monster in the dark, like picking these people off. And so I don't remember hating it, but I don't remember like anything like amazing sticking out to me other than I went, it's the dude from Rampage and Freddy vs. Jason. Like that was it. So
Brendan Fletcher is the truth, though. That dude needs to come to a convention. I would get everything signed by him.
Yeah, I like him.
Such a weird character in his movies, but so like you can't look away. Weird. Mm-hmm. Like, yeah, that Rampage series is fucking crazy good.
Yeah, and you wouldn't think that those would be good movies, but they really are.
Because you feel kind of dirty watching it.
Yeah.
Because it's very topical right now.
Yeah. I like it a lot, though. All 3 of them.
Yeah, he's just a weird but interesting dude. And I just can't stop watching what he's doing. He's got your attention anytime he's on the camera.
Have you seen the Ginger Snaps trilogy?
I have the first one. I've never gone to the other ones. I've never found them out in the DVD format anywhere yet.
He's in 2 and 3, and he does a really good job. He's kind of a weird dude in those movies, and they're not like direct sequels. Like Part 2 takes place after Part 1, but Part 3 goes way back in time. They do that like way back in the wooden village, and everyone's like, they got fucking crossbows and they're fighting off werewolves from the walls and shit. But it's fun. I definitely enjoyed it.
I've never been much into the the movies that do that.
Yeah, like just abandon
Sensation thing. I don't know what it is. I'm just weird
yeah.
that way.
It's weird to like have a timeline established,
Yeah, be going here and all of a sudden,
change trajectory, and
yeah,
but we're seeing that a lot now. Well, we're going to be now that Halloween fucking
killed it.
dominated. So yeah, they're gonna go back in time and be like direct sequels and ignore stuff. But even before Halloween, that Texas Chainsaw 3D tried that, but they can't do math, so they fucked that up. You know.
Yeah, she would have to be. Yeah, Alexander would have had to be in her 40s.
And she was like 19 or some shit and inherited that house. And you're like, wait a minute.
I mean, I have no complaints. She's a stunning lady to look at.
Yeah, and it's a fun movie. That's another. It's a popcorn movie where you and I are in the minority when it comes to Texas Chainsaw. And we've talked about this before, but how we put 3 above all else.
Yeah, top tier.
3 is without a doubt in my top 10 favorite movies in general. I absolutely love Part 3. And the franchise is really all over the place. So
it's
hard
to never see.
Yeah.
Can you imagine that, the entire series put together for a set?
Yeah, that'd be weird. Like they're so different tonally.
Mm-hmm.
1 and 3 are about the closest tone wise.
No, I feel 1 is like a found footage, like it feels dirty, and your mind makes it seem dirtier than it is. 2 is an absolute fucking insanity freak show experience. 3 is a slasher film.
Yeah.
True 80s slasher film. 4 is an independent Confucius mess.
It's a tough one.
Have the New Line Cinema reboot 2. They're pretty grimy and dirty, but got a budget to them.
Yeah, they're grimy and dirty, but also pretty at the same time.
Yes, they're very clean. It's very cleaned up. It's very, yeah. The film doesn't have no scratches to it. It feels like you just found that footage of the first movie in a basement somewhere,
right?
And not the cleaned up like today.
Yeah. Well, my bad.
Bad man.
Yeah, no, my bad. I've been up a long time. We've been watching we've been doing the Movie Crypt Marathon with Adam and Joe. 48 hours, so I'm a little tired. Huh?
It's still going on right now. You can't be tired if they've been up almost 2 days raising funds. What's their funding at now? Have you got a...
I don't have a tally on me because we've been doing this for a little over an hour now. But they're up there. They're doing really well. But what I was saying about 3 is definitely the closest to Part 1 because 3 sort of has that... really like that nasty tone, but then it shifts gears. At some point it shifts gears, when Alfredo really kind of takes the reins and the movie becomes a lot more silly.
And I wish he was in it more. That's the only thing that was different about that movie is I wish he was just in it more because he's the most quotable man in horror movie history, I feel. Good God, is he such a treat? And he ended up being on the West Wing,
and he's also in The Best of the Best,
and he's in Triple X. Vin Diesel steals his car at the beginning of Triple X.
Dude, he's in so much stuff. He's the man. Tom Everett for fucking president.
And so minimal with his to make him creepy looking. Just give him one fucked up contact, and that's all it takes. And it works.
Yeah. Well, he steals the show.
He does, but yeah, with such a minimal effort, he's able to just own it. Give him a porno mag and a one fucked up eye, and you're like,
and some scissors, yeah.
Yeah, and he's the most like, get a 5 foot radius around that guy.
Yeah. and then when you jump forward after both of the Platinum Dunes remakes, then you have Texas Chainsaw 3D, and it kind of suffers from the same thing. It's very clean. It has that, because they were going for that 3D gimmick, so it looks sweaty and dirty at some points, but it's so pristine that it's very tough to allow that film to take you into that world, but at the same time, you just it's a popcorn movie, so you just kind of are like, fuck it, I'm gonna have fun.
And I swear I've never, even when the wife watched this, she was just like, either like saying how, does she have a clause in her contract where her stomach has to be showing in every scene that she's in? Talking about Daddario.
Mm-hmm.
I have never seen like someone get so close. I mean, so close to nipples coming out, and then it never happens.
And her shirt was taped to her tits.
Yeah, like, come on. Come on. Why won't it happen?
Because we want it to, and we're dirty old perverts.
You can shortcut that, though. You can go to her special in that True Detective series. Apparently, yeah, and that apparently you get nothing left of the imagination in that series.
All right, True Detective. Alexandra Daddario.
Yes, her. She has a scene with Woody Harrelson apparently, and yeah, she doesn't have anything on in that.
All right, Google, here we come.
I guarantee you won't have any trouble finding that.
Nice.
Like, with all the good roles. Who you making faces at?
Megan. Megan, no! She was peeking in. Because we were talking about breastises, probably.
What?
What? Titties. Two titties.
What's her opinion on Alexandra Daddario and Texas Chainsaw 3D?
She does not like that movie. The only thing that really ever quotable sticks out in that movie is do your thing, cuz. And it's because it's so ridiculous. But and I remember when that movie came out. The day it came out, I bought it on Blu-ray, and I was like, "Fuck yes!" And I went home and watched it. And the opening, that first 15 minutes, where they rebuilt the house from the first movie and everything.
Yeah, I
was fucking jazzed. And then as the movie went on, I was irritated with the movie. I was just like, I don't like this. And now that I've watched it, many times, it's still not a great movie, but it's a fun movie. And I don't know why I was so hung up, because this is a franchise that had, Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2 is a thing. And so why was I upset about this one? I don't know.
What did you think about the Jigsaw reference in that movie?
Oh, at the carnival?
Yeah.
I like that. I don't have anything against that. It's a cool little nod because Lionsgate was taking over the rights and stuff. So,
have you seen that in Insidious? There's a Jigsaw, Billy the puppet in Insidious, on the blackboard.
Drawn on the whiteboard, yeah, or the blackboard, yeah, yep.
Yeah, I guess it is a whiteboard. There ain't no blackboards anymore. No chalk. What movie is that where Roger Rabbit?
Oh, I hate that noise.
Where Doom is writing, the money on the chalkboard.
He takes the dude's sleeve because he doesn't have an arm. Yep.
Yeah, and that dude's just I think it's the bartender or whatever is every time. Hey, I seen a rabbit.
Is that the dude that fucking Bob Hoskins fucking shoves the egg in his mouth and fucking?
Yes. It looks like Rick Dukeman a little bit.
Yep, a little bit. Nice.
That's a Blu-ray I need to own. That
Roger
was
Rabbit?
yes,
Fucking love that movie.
excellent movie. I love Bob Hoskins in that. I never knew him as anything other than that for years, and then it was Mario Brothers.
Yep.
And I know
And
he
then,
was drunk through that entire film, but yeah, I thought he was a pretty good Mario.
you know, I don't have anything super nice to say about the Mario Brothers movie. So
You're the Double Dragon movie guy.
yeah, I don't like Double Dragon either. I just like Alyssa Milano in Double Dragon.
Well, just
But I saw
the vampire, and you'll be fine.
yeah, but I saw Super Mario Brothers and Ninja Turtles 3 back to back at the movie theaters. So my movie going experience was not a good one. I can like vividly remember being like, that was the longest day ever. And then like
You had the Tarzan boys.
yeah,
Jungle.
but we left the movie theater and we went to like a Kmart or whatever, and they had the Ninja Turtles 3 comic book, like a big thick comic book.
Novel.
Yeah, so I'm like, I'll get this because the comic book will surely be better than the movie. And I remember like going home and reading that comic book and being like, this is still not good. Like maybe it'll grow on me, and it never did. Like I still like to just erase that movie from my memory. I hate Ninja Turtles 3. I hate it.
But you wanted to like.
I really did. It just, and still, like, I go back maybe once a year and throw that on, and I go, God, why did Jim Henson die? You know?
Because he had no, I believe, from working too hard on that first movie, and that's what did him.
Really?
I'm serious. I firmly believe. I think I heard stories about it. Like he had bad pneumonia, and it was overworking himself doing the stuff for that first movie.
Motherfucker.
That's why that looked so good. Because he gave his life essentially to make that movie.
Yeah, but okay. So here is my gripe.
For the first movie.
No. There is no gripe for the first movie. But I hate to do this. But okay, so let's say we have like Ninja Turtles 1 and we have Ninja Turtles 2. And then we'll take Predator 1 and Predator 2 with those. Okay. Made 88 or okay, Predator was made 87 and Predator 2 92.
Yeah, 91, 92.
Okay, and then so Ninja Turtles 89 into 90, and Ninja Turtles 2 90 to 91. Right? How good they looked. And then
2 was definitely
a little. You're talking about Turtles 2, not Predator 2, because Predator 2 still looked good.
Predator 2 looked good, not as good as that first one though.
Right, they look like
more rough.
They look like garden spiders, like like the spiders with the yellow.
You see more tangible in that first movie. Like everything seemed real.
Yeah,
like really real.
But that's where my argument is, that these movies are so old, and then you do something like Predators, the Robert Rodriguez Predators or whatever, and the suit the suit work does not look as good. Yet arguably our makeup effects have advanced. Incredibly advanced. Guys like K and B are doing these things, and it just doesn't hold a candle to it. And it bothers me so much. Like when I watch those movies, when I watch like the new Predator, and I go, how can you fuck something up that looked so good in 1987? Like, I don't know.
Because that kind of stuff takes time and too much money now to do, because it's an outdated thing, even though it worked and still works.
Yeah, and that's I don't know. I'm going through that. That's that old man grumpy thing. Like, well, back in my day, things looked better, but
it's the same thing with Exorcist. Like how they had to do the freezing breath thing.
Yeah,
in a giant freezer.
Yeah. Shit. Yeah, I just don't understand. Like a turtle. What's up?
I just see like the light flickering like outside your door. I kept thinking it was
traffic. I think.
What's going on behind me? And it's like, oh, that's his place.
Yeah, traffic. But so like a guy in a rubber suit can look so good in 1989 for the Turtles, but then when we do the remake, the Michael Bay stuff, they're completely CGI. They look like Incredible Hulks, and I don't want to do that. I don't want to be that elitist purist person. But
no,
Frank and I had that argument as well, because he was like, dude, it's whatever year the new Turtles came out. Dude, it's fucking 2012 or whatever, bro. They gotta be fucking CGI Turtles, bro. And I'm like, no, they don't. Like, look, go back and watch that movie and look at how good they look in rubber suits.
They look good. They couldn't move really great, though. I mean, you would have to. I mean, they would be logically going, they got to do so much more now than they did then, so we can't have them in suits because they're limited on their mobility. It's like fucking Batman can't fucking turn his head like this.
Right.
This shit.
Yeah, the Keaton.
It's just cheaper to take that route, and that's the first thing they're going to do to save money.
Yeah, which is, when I let you borrow the Thing prequel, and that's a big gripe with that movie, is if you watch the special features for it, they actually did sculpt all of those effects. They had them sculpted and filmed and put into the movie, and somebody somewhere went, I don't think they look that good, being real. Maybe we should just cut out all those scenes and CGI that shit. So when you watch that movie, you'll see those effects and you'll go, wow, they look like a PS2. It looks like a PS2 cutscene. And it will, because it's supposed to take place before the Kurt Russell movie. And you go, nope, don't believe it. As soon as you see something so shiny that it doesn't belong there.
Yeah, the prerequisite for that movie should have been nothing can be used that was actually made after the year that this came out.
Yeah.
Time-wise, the first one.
Yeah, and when you watch that Thing prequel, the story itself is actually solid. The story is solid, but the effects will pull you out of it. But just try to ride with the story and have fun with the story. Whenever you get around to it, made
it through Blood Diner, so so I can get through this.
Yeah, but Blood Diner was all practical and awesome.
Shit, man.
Fucking what's the demon's name? Shira.
Shira
fucking
and sister. It's like something like between Shira and like Sherman sounding. Sherman and
yeah.
Shaman.
I can't remember it, but yeah, the fucking mouth on the chest. That's a fun movie.
Call me She-Ramen. She-Ramen.
What's left in that stack that you got to watch?
All of them still.
Nah. You go really weird and go with that Henenlotter movie and go with Brain Damage.
Yeah, I need to.
That might be that's like an early morning, no kids awake type of deal. That's a good start to the day. You can go, well, I got the crazy shit out of the way. I can watch something normal now.
We ain't got nothing normal here, sir.
No.
More of us weirdos.
Sell crazy someplace else. We're all stocked up here.
Indeed. I'm on overnights this upcoming week, so I'll be able to burn out some cinema by myself because no one's going to be awake.
Nice.
During my time of days. So we'll be able to get some of them. I'll get them all burned down and get them back to you, and then I'll be on to whatever comes next, which is
Yes.
Halloween coming out in a month from now.
I don't remember the release date off the top of my head. I feel like I dropped the ball.
I want to say like mid-January.
Yeah. Venom comes out on like Tuesday, which I'm not. That's not horror, but yeah.
No.
The kids liked it, so.
They did, huh?
Yeah, I didn't see it. Megan took them.
No.
That's where I draw the line. I'm not necessarily a comic Marvel movie guy right now. I kind of burn out on them after a while, so I don't want to shoot myself in the foot, internet. But I'm fizzled out right now.
I like the Guardians movies. That's where I kind of hang on. They were like them, but they ain't making them now because the director done has been moved over to DC. DC done picked them up.
Because he tweeted something fucking 9 years ago or some shit that was offensive.
Yes.
We're all doomed.
Well, unless you want to run for public office, then I guess you're fine. No rules apply there, but if you want a job in the cinema world, apparently, you can't have anything dirty on your record. Ever said or done, which I'm fine if you want to get blacklisted for shit you've done, but the shit you've said or posted is
cracking jokes.
Yeah, that's more negotiable. So like, well, what was it? When did you say it? What was it about? Yada yada yada. Not a straight, like, any kind of like molesting or rape kind of charge or stuff. Yeah, that's a whole other ballpark.
Yeah, that's some Victor Salva shit.
Some random shit you posted a decade ago. I've gone back and looked at shit I posted 10 years ago. I'm like, ugh. Not like anything bad, but I'm like, nerd.
Yeah. Yeah, me too.
Like, I'm not that ain't him no more.
We're older, wiser, yes.
No, you're half right.
Yeah, older. I got less hair on top of my head.
Yeah.
Aw, shit. There it is.
There it is. 35 with a mohawk.
Because we don't give a fuck.
Not this guy. Never again.
Nope. All right, so I think we covered the handful of topics, and then we ranted about Freddy versus Jason for a while, because that's what we do. So
Freddy versus Jason. Freddy versus Jason.
Just rolls off the tongue. And my nose is starting to get stuffy again, so it's about time for more medicine. Ugh.
We've been sick for about a month straight now, trading it forth.
Yeah, and I did stay up a little later than normal and got up a little earlier than normal and been kind of checking in periodically with the guys at the Movie Crypt, and I would say that I'm more tired today than normal on a Saturday, because I'm trying to, the guys are doing that, and that's another thing. By the time this comes out, obviously, they'll have succeeded because they're fucking amazing.
This is their third year too, isn't it?
Yep. And it's very important for the horror community to support not just the Save the Yorkies thing, but to support Adam and Joe and to support. Hey-o, no, you're good.
My bad.
But just to support the independent filmmakers out there, guys like Adam and Joe who bust their ass to create amazing things like the Hatchet franchise, or like Mayhem, or Everly and the Holliston series.
Just us helping each other anyway. And
that's just It's just the thing about the horror genre. It's just
donating money to their cause.
Yep. So by the time this comes out, obviously they will have succeeded. But I will put a link in the description for anyone who wants to donate to the foundation after the 48 hours.
Or or to them too, because they have their Arwen's treat bag for them to help them keep their stuff running too. So
right, and that's also worth mentioning. Yeah, that the if you are not a Patreon of the Movie Crypt Podcast, you can be a Patreon for $1. I'm actually a Patreon for $5 a month, and that gives you early access to episodes. That gives you
commentaries.
Yeah, commentaries like that only Patreon people get, and that also gives you access to the back catalog, which is no longer available because they changed from Geek Nation to whoever.
I think they're independent.
Yeah, they just do their own thing. So it gives you access to the back catalog. It's a very important podcast. It's very informative for anyone who is looking to get into the film industry.
I know of a couple people that it's helped them get through some rough spots. And, I was the one being like, I know you're not a podcast guy, but give this a shot. And,
yep.
Yeah, good people. Just the best people, and deserve anything that we can throw at them.
Yep.
But that's how we are with everybody. It's like we want people to... we want to be supported, and we want to support other people.
Yep, we want everyone to succeed, and the end game for everyone is to chase the dream, do what it is you want to do for a living. Don't get stuck pushing buttons for someone else or making money for someone else. Have fun, be creative, laugh, watch stuff that's stupid, tell fucking jokes, just fucking be a creative person and be a better person.
Be true you and true to you. It's
so
can't get a more like reasoning and description of what we're about than that. Being you. Whatever it takes to be you.
Yep. And the saying that gets thrown around in my household a lot is, don't let the bastards get you down. So that's one thing we say that a lot.
Do you get that from Payback?
That's something that Megan has always said to me, and I would assume that she probably got it from that.
I love it.
And she likes that movie as well. So yeah, she always says that to me, and that's one of those things when you don't want to trudge through, and you don't want to fucking deal with the mundane bullshit of day to day. What we call real life, and eventually the end game is for real life to be
this
content creating and talking horror and just having a good time. So.
And it's not always where we can be, who we really want to be in the real world. Sometimes we can't really be that person. And we could change that. We could always be someone else and try not to be who we are. But I'm not. I've told my kids, and I'm always going to push my kids, be who you really are. For no one else but yourself.
Yeah. That is a incredibly important message to just stay true to yourself. Like, if you could go back in time and meet the 9-year-old version of yourself, would that 9-year-old version of you think you were a good person? Or would they think you're like a total tool? Would they think that you just gave up on, you mean you don't play with Ghostbuster toys no more? You mean you don't watch Nightmare on Elm Street no more? Like,
yeah, I'd be like, it will cost you friends. It will cost you going to proms, going and experiencing this and that. But that's what made you who you are. And I would tell them all the time, I was like, it cost me tons of friends in grade school. I'm like, and don't ever feel bad if you don't feel like you have a good friend right now, because one day you're gonna find one. You will.
Yeah.
It may take up to your 30s, and he may live in another state. But
you know what?
You will find like-minded people, and they're gonna like you for you.
Yeah, and it will be some buddies forever, motherfucking shit. And that wasn't very. Whatever you want to say, I don't know. But yeah, it'll be buddies forever.
Yep.
That's how you do it. Just be you all the time, and don't let the bastards get you down.
Nah, they eat a dick, motherfucker.
Eat a dick, motherfucker, because they can shit on you, but at the end of the day, you gotta be who you want to be, and so whether that means you watch wrestling still, or you watch cartoons every morning, or you watch Maniac Cop 3 times a month, whatever the fuck it is, be you.
That's what I do.
Yep. And we should probably wrap this up so we can get on with our nightly activities, but we will be back next week. That sounds dirty.
Yes. Give me let's give not a prop game then. I like the thing you ran by me before. Give me a month and a date.
A month and a date.
Pro wrestling.
All right. Let's do September 95.
That's my dark year. I didn't have access to a lot that year. That was probably the first In Your House. I want to say, no, I'm thinking October. I'm hazy on that one. I'll be like, give me one other one. Outside of 95.
September 96.
September 96. September 22nd, Mind Games, In Your House. The main event was Shawn Michaels versus Mankind for the world title, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania.
I don't know if you're right, so
go ahead and look that up. Look up September 96. It's even it was at the Core State Center. Runner-up match was a final curtain match between not Mankind, but Goldust and The Undertaker. Main event ended in a disqualification because of run-in interference by Big Van Vader. One of the best matches, probably the best match Mick Foley ever has had, in my opinion, was against Shawn Michaels that night. Hell in a Cell can be its own thing, but the best match it's ever had, best match
you say it was
hands down was that night.
Did you say it was Mind Games?
Mind Games, In Your House, September 22nd.
That is correct. Main event was who?
Shawn Michaels defending the World Heavyweight Championship against Mankind.
Yes, indeed it was. That's insane. Evil Dead Inc., ladies and gentlemen, the Wrestling Almanac. Real quick, before we take off, I was meaning to plug this earlier, but you may have noticed on all of the thumbnails that we have very fantastic artwork. Cute little drawings of Evil Dead Inc. and myself. The artist... You look what?
I look cute.
We are very handsome cartoons. The artist responsible for the artwork on the new thumbnails is a fantastic artist. Her name is Anya Uribe, and you can find her on Instagram. I don't have to spell her last name for you because it is not spelled how it sounds. So it's Anya space Uribe, Anya Uribe, and she also has a DeviantArt webpage, which is anyauribe.deviantart.com. She does amazing custom artwork for people. She does these adorable, sexy cartoons. She makes horror icons look cute.
like Tiny Toon Adventures that you were describing it to me.
It's very Tiny Toon Adventures, and her art is definitely worth checking out. You should take a trip over, look at the stuff that she's done. If her art style strikes your fancy, send her a message and have her draw you up something fantastic for your wall or your movie room, or maybe you just want a really fucking rad profile picture like we have now.
Let her know who sent you too.
Yep, let her know that Rotten Roger and Evil Dead Inks from 3B Productions sent you.
Is it too much to say? I'm really considering getting the tattoo of my cartoon self.
No, it's not
this month. Like, am I gonna?
Because
it'll be the second time I've got a tattoo of myself on myself.
Because it's awesome.
It's weird.
Because we like
on your arm. It's like, oh, that's me.
We like ourselves. All right. So I suppose on that note, we should probably take off because after all, there's a lot of movies out there, and somebody's got to watch them. So why not us, right?
You got it.
Yes. Yeah. We'll see you guys next week. Have a good one.
I can still see you.
No, you can't.